Special to me, I'm sure special to you, and it's Justin Hayward from the Moody Blues. Hello, Justin.
Oh, hi. Nice to be here.
You know, I was telling you earlier that there are two guests that I've always wanted to have on my TV show, and everybody has their own special favorite stars, and my two stars have always been Data from Star Trek and Justin Hayward from the Moody Blues.
Okay.
I feel like I know you.
It's fantastic company.
Because I've grown up with you, like a lot of your fans have grown up with you.
I believe that's true, yeah. Well, I think that what you say is very true in so much that I know that the music of my youth has, will stay with me always, and I think that's true of everybody. And so the people that loved us when we, during the sort of late 60s and 70s, they love us still, thank goodness. And we've gained new fans really through the 80s, and we introduced a lot of people to our music in the sort of mid-80s with a couple of big hit singles that we had then. So things are very good for us.
It's been more than 25 years that you've been together. You've extended more than a generation. I guess you're into your second or maybe third generation of fans. Yeah,
probably third, yeah.
Do you find that some of your original fans are now bringing their children to your concerts?
Well, it's kind of funny. It's the other way around, because the children seem to discover the Moody Blues and then start playing our new records, and then the parents say, "Hey, I know that, that's old Justin Hayward and his group and that, so, and so it seems to go that way, and then the parents of those children come, so it's as you say, but it's the other way around.
What are the secrets of keeping a group together for 25 years? When we look at who are the heavy hitters of rock or sports or whatever the expertise is, there's people who are flashes in the pan, really big groups, or really big athletic stars, and they last a year or two. But it's really the people who, in my opinion, who belong in the Hall of Fame are the people who pass the rigors of time. Moody Blues, the Rolling Stones, certainly have done that. What is the secret in staying together for 25 years?
Well, I think there's a number of things. We've overcome a lot of the kind of crisis points that maybe break up a lot of other bands, particularly the big sort of... we went through a very hard time in the very early 70s when we reached that sort of mega group status, and there was about 4 years then where the success was really manipulating us instead of us sort of manipulating it. And that's a very difficult thing to go through. It's very difficult going out and sharing things, and it was like living in a kind of bubble and always limousines, and instead of my world getting bigger, it was getting smaller. And I think once we'd survived that and come through that, and we were able to grow as people, and instead of just living through the group, I decided to sort of develop myself as a person, and then I could really rationalize what I wanted to do and find a kind of purpose in life. So I think that's probably the main part, is that there are those certain crisis points that you must overcome, and now we're relaxed with ourselves and we're comfortable with ourselves, and probably the one reason we're here right now is that there's so much love and affection for the Moody Blues music that it's a privilege to be able to, particularly as a songwriter like myself, to go out and play that and share that experience with a great many people every night.
Songs like Tuesday Afternoon and Nights in White Satin that you've been singing for 25 years, when you sing it now for the 5,002nd time, do you get tired of singing the same songs?
No, I never do. I can truthfully really say that I never do, because I know that those songs are special to the people in the audience, and that's something that I would never want to give up. That's an experience that I would always want to have, and particularly Nights in White Satin. I know what it means to so many people, and people get married to it, and people write to me about it all the time, and no, you don't have too many of those songs. As a songwriter, I've had a few in my career, and they're very valuable. I'd never get tired of singing the hits.
A lot of your songs, not only today, but 25 years ago, not only are noted for their music, but also for their words. And it seems that you pay a lot of attention to the words are almost poetic. I can remember, for instance, face piles of trials with smiles that riles them to believe the web that you perceive the web the web they weave, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, things like that have stuck in my mind for
well done.
15,
I couldn't remember
years.
as much as you just said. Yeah.
So when you write the songs, how meaningful are the words to you that you're writing to the music?
Well, the only purpose for me in writing a song is that it has some basis of sincerity, and that it means something to me. First of all, it's got to mean something to me, and I can write lyrics all day long, but if they don't really have that, you know, within me, that really brings that little sort of touch of emotion, so that you can sing it with an emotion in your voice and in sincerity, then it just doesn't work. And we were in a position where we came along at a time where we were able to reject a lot of the sort of commercial ideas of music and I love you baby, you know, sort of let's go to bed kind of thing. Mm-hmm. That's still in our music, but we weren't confined to that. So we were allowed a lot of sort of total artistic freedom by Sir Edward Lewis, who was the head of Decca when we first started. And it was the time at Decca, I have to say, that where our ideas and creative ideas were formed. And he gave us every opportunity to do that with no restriction on it, and he'd release whatever we did and be right behind it. And so it was that freedom that set us apart then, and gave us a sort of truthfulness about our lyrics, and it really set us on the right track.
Your lyrics are almost like little vignettes or little stories, and they're voyages. I mean, every time I listen to one of your songs, it's a little voyage that you kind of escape where you are at the moment, and you just get totally involved as an audience in the song, and it's refreshing to be removed and entertained like that.
Well, I hope so. You see, because I think that the purpose of music is really to make the world a better place, and I think it does fulfill that particular function. And I know, as a European and living in Europe, you know, and obviously growing up in Great Britain and living in Great Britain, that I've watched the things happen in Eastern Europe, and the times that I've been there, and the Moody Blues have played there. And last November we were playing in Berlin, and I know that it's a fact that rock and roll music and young people's music did more to change the ideas of the generation that brought that wall down than any politician's words. You know, particularly radio stations, Voice of America and the BBC World Service, that were broadcasting music into the the Eastern European countries. They changed the way that a generation of young people thought, and much more so than any political ideology or anything like that.
When you entered the music scene with the Moody Blues, at that time, English music had a certain influence in America and around the world. Mm-hmm. It seems that the music in Europe, at least in America, is not as prevalent today or as important today in America as it was in those days. Why is that?